Are you feeling like a zombie lately? Tired of the same old energy drinks promising the world but delivering the jitters and a crash? Look no further than Sneak Energy, your secret weapon for all your energy needs. With all natural ingredients, Sneak will give you all the energy you need to boost through your day without feeling like a lab rat on caffeine. Don't believe us? Try it yourself and see what a difference it can make to your routine. So what are you waiting for? Hit the link in the description and pick up your Sneak starter pack today. Now enjoy the clip. Sabitzer. Manchester United and Chelsea have both inquired about Sabitzer. Bayern in talks with the clubs. I mean, I'd love Sabitzer. I would love Sabitzer. I wanted him when he was at Leipzig a couple of years ago. I wouldn't mind that sort of a deal. And that's what I mean. That there may well be a diamond in the rough. There may well be a diamond in the rough. And you would still say, why is the money being released now? But at the end of the day, we need a player like that. You know, he's a risk. He is a risk. He's not done absolutely brilliantly at Bayern Munich, but I would really like it. I would really like it if we could do a deal like that. It would be very, very interesting. The fact that Chelsea are looking at him, why? I don't know. I don't know why Chelsea are looking at him. Chelsea would look at anything. What you need to do is just put a fake story out there and then let Chelsea buy that, and then they won't have time to go and get the one you really want. But Sabitzer is 28. Look, Sabitzer would suit. And you remember what I said? I said this. I'm doing my own I told you so. But remember, we've been talking about where Ten Hag will get players from. I have been saying this for a while. He would definitely bring a player in from the Bundesliga. This is, you know, I know he's bought a lot in from the Eredivisie. I'm stunned he's not bought anybody from the Bundesliga yet, because he loves the Bundesliga. Obviously, he was reserve team coach at Bayern Munich, and he knows the Bundesliga really, really well. In some ways, Weghorst is a Bundesliga player because Ten Hag will know him from Wolfsburg. So I am not surprised. And I mean, I'd love to get Lehmer, but he's going to Bayern Munich, Derry. But I would like Sabitzer. He can play a number of roles. He's not a CDM, but he can play the deeper role like Eriksen. He can play the 8, and he can play more advanced. So he would be, he'd be a really good option. That sort of deal does excite me, but we've got to be wary here. I mean, we've spoken about Sabitzer over the years on the United Stand when he was at Leipzig. In fact, there's probably a tweet out there where I said I think he could play CDM, and I got loads of shit for it. But I think he's a good player. I think the Bayern Munich move just didn't work as well as it could have done, because Bayern Munich have got good players. But, you know, should we try for Gravenberch if we're talking to them? Yes, but maybe they don't want to let him go on loan. Sabitzer is the spirit of Rangnick. Well, the thing about Sabitzer is if you look at Leipzig and the way they play football, it is basically similar to the way that Ten Hag wants to play. Not exact, but they do want to be possession-based. They do want to be energetic. They do want to press. So it'd be an interesting player. If we can do that, you know, and look, I'm not going to be negative about this. There is a problem. And if we don't solve that problem by 11 o'clock tonight, then it's a disgrace. But if we deal with this, and look, I think we've all got every right to say, you should have been dealing with this before today. But what did Fabrizio Romano say a week ago? Watch out for the final hours of the transfer window. And what did I say this morning? As much as everybody's writing it off, I'm still 50-50 because I just think they've got to do something. Now that that's happened with Eriksen, I just go back to, you know, what we were discussing a few minutes ago. You've got 3 midfield starting positions in a Ten Hag system, and you've got 4 players. Casemiro, Fred, Bruno, and McTominay to back up all 3. It's not enough. Even with Sabitzer, you lose another one and it's weak. So, look, let's get excited that maybe we might do something late in the window. But remember, even if we did, we still don't have masses of cover in the midfield. with Eriksen out. We are a very thin squad. So we've got to do something. When Real Salt Lake City outspends United in January, God, I love OCD people who get concerned about misspellings. But the video description did. So yeah, look, this is interesting. United in for Sabitzer. Let's have a look. I mean, look, also what you have to consider as well is Chelsea's name has been mentioned. Samuel Luckhurst has also said that Man United are making late inquiries to sign a midfielder on loan before the transfer window closes at 11. I think we will do. We remember we've also... Scott McTominay's also injured at the moment. I didn't realise that. So we've only got 2 fit central midfielders with Casemiro and Fred. I don't know what the injury is with McTominay. We have been linked to Carrasco. We have been linked to Rafinha. But I think the Sabitzer link is the most encouraging because he actually is a midfielder. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that one develops. I think it's another one as well. Man United are now contacting several leading clubs around Europe to see whether they can bring in a midfielder before tonight's transfer deadline. Well, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens, isn't it? But look, I'm just looking around social media, and there's people, you know, fair play with their you know, sort of doing polls and stuff. Would you want Sabitzer at Manchester United? I mean, I wouldn't even do a poll. I like this player. I've always liked this player. I think this is the sort of player that if we were going for him in the summer, I'd be very excited. So there's no poll on Sabitzer. Trust me. This is if United can pull this off, that is a rabbit out the hat. A very good one. There's no guarantees, but there's no poll there. This ain't like, do you want Dele Alli? You know, this is Sabitzer. He's a player that suits the way that Ten Hag wants to play. You know, he's coming in from a club in Bayern Munich that has he'll have the mentality. I think as far as last few hours of the January transfer window goes, that's pretty much smile on your face time. Now, we've not done it, and he'd probably be wearing bloody Chelsea's blue in the next hour, but that is an encouraging link. Now, the thing is, you've got to make that deal happen, and anybody who's lived in a January transfer window deadline day will know you can go from Josh King to Rondon to Ighalo very, very quickly because it's desperate now. And what's happening is United are ringing around. United are ringing around, desperately trying to do something, and that's not easy. Mark, can you just play midfield? We need options, says Lazy Parker. And Mark, are you going to do any transfer deadline show kind of thing? Looks like the next hours will have many United news, to be honest, as Imperial X. We are. We've got a show at 2. We've got a show at 4. We've got my 8 o'clock show, and obviously anything in between. So yeah, we've got loads of things going on the United Stand today. Christian Falk has just put a tweet out as well. Let's have a look. Well, this is encouraging because it's Germany, and he is Bayern Munich. Christian Falk is German, and he is Bayern Munich. True, Manchester United and Bayern Munich are in talks about a transfer of Sabitzer. So there we go. Christian Falk is basically tapped into Bayern Munich and always has been. And he doesn't mention Chelsea. So there you go. Christian Falk has said it's true that Manchester United are in talks with Bayern Munich on a transfer for Sabitzer. No mention of Chelsea in that as well. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. It's not, it's not ideal what's happened to Eriksen, and I want to be respectful of that because I think he's a really important player, but needs must, and we have to act quick. And I like Sabitzer. I do. I think there's... I'm just going to check here. There may even be...